Could a big year be coming for Boye Mafe in his third year in the National Football League? We will discuss that possibility and more here on this edition of Seattle Seahawks Today, powered by Chat Sports. Tyler Jones here with you. Thanks for joining us. Before we dive in and tell you all about Boye, we want to show some love to Boye Mafe. If you want him to have a big season and to be the X factor for the Seattle Seahawks in 2024, like the video. Who knows? He may be watching, his family, his friends. We want to make our voices heard loud and clear that we believe in Boye, that we're rooting him on, and we think that he's going to be a badass here in 2024. Like the video, we'll get started with today's show. On this edition of Seattle Seahawks Today, I'm going to tell you why I believe Boye will be the key to the Seahawks' success in 2024. We've seen the Seahawks have invested a lot in this defense. And with this new defensive scheme, coming off a very strong second year in the NFL, I think Boye is going to be in position to be among one of the best edge rushers in all of football, that he's still got one more big step ahead of him. Boye was a second-round pick in 2022 out of Minnesota. Last season led the Seahawks in sacks with 9. And it was a record-setting season for Boye Mafe as well, as he set the franchise record for most consecutive games with a sack with 7 straight in 2023. And his numbers greatly improved from his rookie campaign. As a rookie, he had 3 total sacks, 3 tackles for losses, and 41 tackles. Last year, his numbers went up in every category. 52 tackles, 9 tackles for loss, 9 sacks, 1 forced fumble, and 6 pass breakups. Despite setting that franchise record, though, of 7 straight games with a sack, his season came with several peaks and valleys throughout 2023. Although he had that stretch, the Seahawks found themselves with somebody that was inconsistent in some parts of the season. His numbers, according to PFF, was really good in pass rush, 77.8. His run defense grade was 61.3. The Seahawks are hoping that improves as they put in a greater effort to stop the run this year. And his overall grade was a 73.9 in 779 overall snaps last season. Mafe had a really strong second season with the Seahawks. I thought he took some tremendous strides last season. But I still think there's another step for him to go to reach his full potential, and this could be the year for him to do so. The key for Boye Mafe, and we'll let you hear from him himself here in just a moment. The key for Boye Mafe is every single down. Not taking plays off, not disappearing, but winning every down, which has been a big point of emphasis for Mike Macdonald with this Seahawks defense here in 2024, that they want to make every single play count. Boye had this to say recently on his goals for 2024. There's a lot of things that happen pre-snap that can give you tells and things that you can see beforehand. One of the things, especially from last year, I noticed there were plays that I felt I left on the table. And that's going to be the key, not leaving those plays on the table, to go all out every time and to be aware when those situations arise. Do you believe in Boye Mafe? I'm all in. I'll explain more here in a moment, but what I hear from you guys, type B for believe, D for don't. Weigh in, let us know. Seahawks Today brings you the best coverage that you won't find anywhere else, as we're bringing you daily news and rumors. We'll have watch parties for every game this season, including Saturday night when the Seahawks take on the Cleveland Browns. You will not want to miss it. We're currently at 54,403 subscribers, quickly approaching 55,000 subs. I would love to find a way to get there before kickoff on Saturday night. For the latest happenings in your Seattle Seahawks all season long, you ain't alive if you ain't subscribed. Subscribe to the channel now, youtube.com/Seahawks TV. All right, I'm going to lay out 2 vastly different scenarios for Boye Mafe. Let's start with the positive. The best case scenario for Boye Mafe this season is he breaks Michael Sinclair's single-season sack record with 17-plus sacks. That would be a sack every single game. Obviously, when Sinclair broke the record, they didn't play 17 games. But nonetheless, it would be a huge accomplishment, and that would be the best situation for him. It's not impossible. It's a high goal, but that would be the absolute best case. And on top of that, it would set him up for a massive payday as he's looking for that extension for many years to come. Now, let's go to the negative side. The worst case scenario for Boye Mafe would be if the Seahawks like Dre'Mont Jones more than him, which is certainly possible, and Dre'Mont Jones plays at a high level and kind of kicks Boye to the curb with Uchenna and Nwosu there, and he's like the number 3 or 4 option when it comes to the edge rusher position, and you see his production drop from what it was last year after having a great sophomore season to take steps back, which nobody wants by any means. And then that would hurt his case to get paid that money that he's looking for in his next contract. Those are the two wide scenarios. More than likely, it's not going to be one of these two things, but I think that's kind of the best and worst of what we're looking at for Boye. Now, this is where Mike Macdonald comes in, the new head coach for the Seattle Seahawks. With Mike's previous track record, this is the right coach for Boye Mafe and this defense. Mike Macdonald, with what he's done, working with the likes of Justin Houston and Jadeveon Clowney, Kyle Van Noy, Justin Madubuike, some of these very good pass rushers over the years, this is the right coach to maximize Boye's potential and get the absolute most out of him. And credit where credit's due to Boye. He has taken the time to really study this defense and to get to know specifically what Mike Macdonald is looking to do. Boye's got a really good football IQ. He's a student of the game, and he's made a point to look into specifically what Mike Macdonald has in mind and what he has in mind for him for his plan for 2024. Boye said this on Mike Macdonald. I see how it's flowing and the essence of it. He's really one of those people like X's and O's, and he understands it really well. He understands football really well, and he understands how to utilize people, how to move people. That's one thing I'm coming to learn. I see where it comes from and how it works. And you think about this. We've talked a lot on this program that this Seahawks defensive scheme that Mike Macdonald is doing is very complicated. It is primarily a 3-4 defense, but you will see some 4-3 as well. The 3-4 primarily, 4-3 elements as well, mixing, matching, and all this. But the base 3-4 side of things fits Boye Mafe perfectly for what the Seahawks want to accomplish here. Now, the sack record question. Do you think that's possible? Can Boye break the single-season franchise record? Can he have 17-plus sacks this season? Weigh in. Let us know. Y for yes, N for no. Chime in that comment section if you think he can do it or not. One of the guys that Boye is going to be working with is Byron Murphy this year, and we're excited to see these two play together. We got Byron Murphy's jerseys on sale now at chatsports.com/Murphy. He'll wear the number 91, so just add a 9 to that one. We have men's and women's options, the home jersey, the away jersey, the throwback alternate. Go see for yourself. And free shipping is available as well. chatsports.com/Murphy. The link is in the comments and the description of today's video. Get your Byron Murphy jerseys today. Now, let's talk about goals and what Boye could potentially accomplish here, taking a little bit of a step further, specifically when it comes to Boye. Outside of the win-loss column, obviously that's the big thing on the minds of every player on this Seahawks team is to try to win as many games as you can, go as far in the playoffs as you can. That's the number one goal. We're not overshadowing that. But when it comes to Boye specifically, there's no reason, I think, that he shouldn't be a Pro Bowler in 2024. That's realistically the next step for him, is all those numbers go up, and he's in that conversation where he's getting a free trip to Hawaii or Vegas or wherever they're playing that Pro Bowl, that flag football game that he's a part of. And Boye, to his credit, I like what I've heard from him this offseason. He's got some high standards. He's got some high goals that he has for himself, what he has in mind for this upcoming season and beyond. Boye said this, to me, I expect myself, whenever there's a chance to make a play, it should be my play. It's not to say that in a selfish way. Obviously, there's situations and things happen, but I hold myself to a high standard. My whole life I've done that. My family holds me to a high standard. Everyone around me understands that, and they just know That's what I expect of myself and also expect that of other people around me. And it was interesting listening to Boye talk about that. One of the things that he mentioned was playing under P.J. Fleck at Minnesota. P.J., he's one of my favorite coaches in college football. And P.J. has always been a motivator in getting the most out of his guys and pushing his players to reach above and beyond. And that was one thing Boye talked about was that he learned from P.J. Fleck was go sky high, to push yourself to the very limit, to accomplish things you didn't think you could accomplish. And he's taken on that same mentality here with the Seattle Seahawks. The folks at Fantasy Pros put together this stat projection for Boye Mafe, and I think they're selling him short a bit. They are projecting that he'll have 41 tackles, 7.7 sacks. He'll get a fumble recovery, probably not going to get an interception this season, but I got to tell you, I think it's going to be much, much better than that he is being undersold of what he could potentially do. I think it's going to be a big year. What is your confidence level at Boye Mafe? I'm all in. I think he can have a big season. Scale it for me 1 through 10. I got to go with about 8.5 as my confidence level in Boye. I think he's going to be one of the best players in this defense. Weigh in. Let us know what you think. If you enjoyed today's show, you know what to do. Like the video. Show some love for Boye Mafe. We're rooting him on. He's going to have a big year in 2024. We can't wait to tell it all for you right here on Seattle Seahawks Today. I'm Tyler Jones. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.